How's it going, everybody? So the Zombie Scarlet Witch has officially gone live. We're now seeing the orb in its entirety, the drop chances, as well as the amount of frags we're getting per orb. And I gotta say, a lot of people were peeved off right away, myself included. I've since done a lot of digging into it. Here we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the super ugly. And I'm going to tell you what you guys need to do to make sure that you can get your Scarlet Witch unlocked. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. And let's start talking about the good. The good was, in the story mission, you got free 50 Juggernaut shards, so I know I'm hiding it. In the challenges 1 and 2, another 50 Juggernaut shards, which is 150. Is this good? Yeah, this is good. There's lots of free stuff here. Lots of zombie Iron Man shards were in there. I think it was the same amount. That's cool, right? The reality is Zombie Iron Man is farmable, and Juggernaut should have been farmable already. If not, he's going to be very soon. Maybe they're going to shove him in a Battle World store, which I think that would be a huge mistake. I think they should increase the amount of incursion campaign nodes that we have, slot him in over there somewhere, because we've had a lot of characters that have since come to the game that could definitely use a red star farming location as opposed to having to use gold promos on said characters, right? I think that would be better for the game. It's still good though. Like my free-to-play account now has a 5-star zombie Juggernaut because of that, I believe. And that's cool. We got the 4 red stars for free as well. That again, if you didn't have that, is cool. If you did have that, you're probably kind of annoyed with it. But that is what it is, right? All right. Let's get to some information here. The event is going to be lasting 10 days. Okay? The average shard drop is going to be around 3.56. The nodes allow 10 attempts. There's only 5 nodes. The 6th node would be gated by having Zombie Scarlet Witch at 3 stars. Daily, you get 288 energy just from it refreshing over time. It's 5 minutes per energy. You divide that by 60 for the amount of hours. You times that by 24 for a day. That leads you to 288. And so far, we got 500 frags in the daily free claim. Now, what am I talking about when I show all that? Hopefully this is good. Okay, this is good. When I say all that, this is what I'm referring to. We go into Red Dead Rematch, the challenge tier. You have the 5 nodes, right? And we're getting, well, I am going to do this. So let me go ahead and refresh it here. And we get 10 attempts per. The nodes are refreshable. That is important. And I'm probably going to have to come back here and core a little bit more after we finish discussing what I wanted to discuss here. Okay. After that, we need to talk about... This is where it gets a little yucky, right? So what now? She's a 45 shard unlock. That's the good news. I mean, it probably would have been even better news if she was a 15 shard unlock. We'll talk about why that would be okay near the end of the video. If we divide 45 shards by the average, again, this is important to understand. When I say the average, this is what you should be able to expect based on probability. But probability is a fickle bitch. And you could just end up getting wrecked by her, or you could get huge benefits from her. This doesn't mean 50% of people unlock and 50% don't. That's not what the average means, okay? There will be some huge losers. There will be some big winners. But on average, if you do what we talked about here, you should be able to get her unlocked. It's just... I got to be very clear about this. Some people can get screwed by this. Some people can see huge benefits. Other people will be right dead on the average, which is why it's called the average. So on average, players need to open 13.4 orbs during this event, while it's open, for the unlock. And that's absent any free claim shards. I half expect us to get about 5 free claims on Friday for her. That's kind of what I expect. All right? So what is the core cost associated with that? Well, because there's only 5 nodes, what we can do free to play is going to be free without refreshing nodes. What we can do to farm out all the 5 nodes that we have only costs 150 cores plus the free energy, and that will net you 1,750 frags. If we continue to get 500 free claim fragments a day, then daily we're going to get 2,250. So 1 orb per day. Times that over the 10 days, that 250, that does add up to an extra orb. So we get 11 orbs. But hey, I don't know if you guys realize this or not. 11 is not 3.4. So on average, you wouldn't actually get the unlock if you're only doing 150 cores to max out the nodes that we have in the challenging tier, okay? So the additional core cost, once again, to get the average, all right, is going to be, what are we missing? Well, we need technically 14 orbs, right? Because there's no half orbs. So we need technically 14 orbs. That would be 28,000 orb fragments to, on average, get the unlock. So we're missing 5,500. If I divide that 5,500 by the max you get from a given node, which is 350 orb fragments, then we're going to need to refresh 16 nodes during the 10 days. So if we refresh 2 nodes daily, plus buying 1 more energy, then we're going to be getting 300 cores daily, average, for the unlock. One thing I didn't mention that we probably should is that when you core, say base level, right? You core 3 times, that gives you 300 energy. You get 288 energy just regularly. So if you don't refresh any nodes, you're actually burning 88 campaign energy and doing nothing with it. If you do this, 300 cores daily, then you're going to miss out on 1 node farm, 35 fragments daily, but you're minimizing your core spending to 300 cores a day, and that, on average, is going to get you the unlock. I got to say on average as much as possible here. I want to do some comparisons with these, so just put that in the back of your head for now, for right now. 300 cores per day on average will get you the unlock. Anyone who says 50% chance you get it, 50% you don't, that's not how averages work, okay? It's not how averages work. Comparisons. This is nothing compared to Captain Britain. If you want like a realistic take, it would be above 50% chance to get unlocked, below 40% chance to get it unlocked, given the average. Comparisons. Nothing compared to Captain Britain. The Captain Britain people had to spend tens of thousands of cores to get Captain Britain unlocked. But as a byproduct, you did have a 5-star Hank and a 5-star Black Panther Shuri at the end, right? Plus you got to do a bunch of different campaign stuff that got you a bunch of rewards. That wouldn't be the case here because a 2-star Scarlet Witch, just the unlock, does not get you an additional orb to farm, node to farm, right? Scarlet Witch Zombie is just a simple matter of fact, much worse than previous Undyings. We'll talk about Zombie Juggernaut in a little bit. His release event. But it's much worse if this remains just what we think it is. This is actually cheaper than a regular character unlock. If you look at Blade, for instance, Blade being a 100 shard unlock, on average, again, those orbs give about 8 or 9, okay? To get Blade unlocked from 0 to 100, you would need to spend about 8,000 cores. Mind you, during this new orb system they have, you would have like a month to get those cores to put in, so there's a little bit of a difference there. But that's a reality. It is cheaper core-wise to get her unlocked. It would also be faster than just waiting for a regular character. So like Blade, Omega Sentinel. My baby account unlocked Omega Sentinel 2 days ago. I think she's been in the game for a month and a half at this point. Like it's not really a great time to be unlocking characters in Marvel Strike Force. I was saying in chat earlier today how I was kind of I always kind of dread these new characters. And Steven is saying something interesting. Blade is free, don't need to core. Not wrong. That's not wrong. It's just, how long has Blade been out for? This is the faster version. If you were to core for a character, it'd be like this. I'm going to get into why the comparisons I just put out here, besides they're worse than the Undying, these are the favorable comparisons, but there's a lot of context that is missing from this. And so before you got mad at what I just said, this is something that I call it Christina. I think Christine, I guess would be the right one. This, I think, is the right take. And I think it's, besides, lacking comments and punctuation, very well spoken. I don't know if it was everything combined. Making a kit very stat dependent on top of gaining red stars. She is DPC. They've said, as I'll show you right now, Scarlet Witch's Zombie will, red stars for Scarlet Witch Zombie will be available for DPCs at a later date, but not immediately after the event ends. We don't have an exact date. Woo, FOMO. There's your FOMO for you, right? Gaining the red stars, on top of not making stuff farmable. Why is Juggernaut not farmable? If I can't farm the entire team, what's the point? On top of not adjusting the red star system, Zombie Juggernaut, Zombie Iron Man, both dark promo characters. It doesn't feel good going for a minimum unlock on Zombie Scarlet Witch would be 2 yellow stars. That would be the minimum. That's like the best free-to-play can hope for on average, 300 cores. It doesn't feel great. Now, Zombie Juggernaut will probably be farmable soon, but that doesn't address the DPC system we have in the game, right? On top of the extreme price point, on top of epic characters. So on top of the extreme price point, I'm not sure I fully agree with this one because most characters, actually no, that's not true. I do agree with this. To get the 4-star unlock for Zombie Scarlet Witch is 170 Canadian dollars. That would normally be $100 Canadian. So they increased it by like 75% on top of what it normally would be, right? They included the 4 red stars. I guess that would be dark promos for some players. I guess in some wacky world, in Scopely value estimation, maybe that is in line with regular. Not in line with mine whatsoever. And then on top of epic characters, and I think this is a big one, right? The word epic characters will forever be spoiled in Marvel Strikeforce. No one is ever going to hear the word epic character and get excited. It's just going to fill them with dread. The whole vaulting characters is, for a lot of people, just not great. It's not fun. It makes them super uninterested in investing in characters. And I 100% can see why that is. With all that said, what's my final take on the situation? My final take on the situation is coring for Zombie Scarlet Witch for the base unlock worth it? Yeah, it is. There's a couple of reasons. 300 cores. It was said in chat, if you're top 200 in Arena, your core intake should be enough to get you this. Now, you won't be able to core regular campaign energy or ISO energy or whatever else you're using your cores on, right? You won't be able to do that. But you would, at the end of the day, on average, I've got to say on average, because some people are going to get screwed. Some people are going to get really benefited from this, from just luck of the draw, right? And it's going to feel bad if you're on the opposite side. 300 cores to unlock her, and she works at a base level, to me, makes it worth it. She's amazing in war. Stopping that speed bar on spawn cannot be understated. It doesn't matter to me if my Scarlet Witch is 2 stars and does no damage, which we'll talk about. If Juggernaut gets farmable, and I have Zombie Iron Man, and I have Hela who I can put diamonds on, and then I have a 5th character I can put in there. Dormammu to make my Juggernaut live longer, Odin to make him beat Mephisto teams. Like, the 5th character is going to be what matters the most, and Scarlet Witch is going to have that presence that old school Emma used to have. That presence that a small cat... People who said Small Cat to Britain was trash, they just didn't know what they're doing with Crucible, right? So is it worth it? If you want to excel in war, have this auto win, yes. If you hate war, well, here's a different reason for you. There are data mines suggesting that Zombie Scarlet Witch will be included in the Spec Ops missions. I can 100% see this. It gives huge benefit to the spenders, and Scopely loves doing that. There was 2 data mines. One, Gear Tier 15. You could just do that, right? You have a 2-star Scarlet Witch. Gear Tier 15 is not hard. Check that box. Spec Ops is done for that. That's good. The other data mine was 3-star. Coring to get Scarlet Witch to 3-star would require insane coring or insane luck. So I don't even want to entertain that. But I just wanted to give you that information that there are data mines suggesting that. What's my plan? Well, let me show you my plan. And hopefully it's not broken right now. It's not. Okay, this is my plan. This is my big boy account. I will not be buying Scarlet Witch. More to the point of, is it worth it? To me, a 2-star, no red star Scarlet Witch is going to be close enough to a 4 yellow, 4 red Scarlet Witch that's what I'm going for. Because I'm not about to buy offers to get the 5th yellow star in Scarlet Witch, because that doesn't make as big a difference. The only difference it would make is that if they release her red stars before they unvault her, I would be able to then get another red star on her with DPCs, which is something, I guess, the new stats, the new characters, red stars, super impactful. It's very damaging. But for me, the dollar point's not worth it. I'd rather take my wife on a date. I went into that in chat, and I definitely don't regret that. So what am I doing? I already farmed these nodes a little bit. I'm going to do myself, just so you know exactly what I'm doing, the 450s. I'm going to farm all this. All that's left of it, I should say. I'll open this orb with you guys while we're here in chat as well. Because I talked about on average a lot. I want to give myself a buffer from the on average at least a little bit. I'm going to be refreshing 3 nodes. I will farm this one with 100 cores. I will farm this one with 100 cores. And I will farm this one with the extra energy. I have leftover energy from yesterday because I didn't appropriate allocate my resources. But that's my plan. My plan is to do 8 nodes daily. This is going to give me an extra 7,000 orb fragments over the 10 days. There's extra 3 orbs to open from, which will increase my odds of unlocking her significantly, like very significantly. But since we open an orb, let's go commiserate together. What is open this orb going to be like? Boom. Got a blue drop. On this count, my first orb was a purple drop, so that already puts me at 13 shards. If I get her to the 45 shards before too late, I'll probably just stop. I'll probably stop coring the story altogether, because there's another component to this I didn't talk on. I don't really want to touch on it, because at the end of the day, I care more about Scarlet Witch than I care about this event, and that is going to be the overwhelming hunger. The amount of extra points we're getting from earning Undying Orb Fragments it doesn't matter. Okay, like, we get 1,750 per day. Look at the type of milestones that it jumps up to. We're talking about tens of thousands after that. So if we're only getting 1,750, for me, I'm going to be getting extra, 900, 1,150. I'm going to be getting on average around 2,900 or so a day doing what I'm doing. That doesn't really move the needle on this event. So I don't suggest anybody looks at the coring they're doing for this event to be part of an input helper for the other event, unless you're like really thin at the margins there. And you should definitely check out that live pool tool. But that's it, guys. That's just how I feel about this event. I wanted to put this out there. At the end of the day, this feels horrible, as I think it does for Captain Britain. Not as bad as that, but I think this is just... It's Scopely taking L's on L's on L's on L's right before they try and do something that they want us to be excited for, right? And there was a lot of mistakes that came with this too. So the orb, when it first came out, they kind of portrayed it as one of those regular orbs. Each orb contains, well, first of all, they've really messed up on this one. They said each orb contains 180 Scarlet Witch shards. It should have been 1 to 180, but it's not even that. It's between 1 and 16, right? So this is a huge L moment right there. Another L moment that they took is going to be in the realization that they already admitted last year's Halloween event was scuffed. We feel the need to mention that one specific comment struck a chord with the team. Halloween is supposed to be fun. Every year, we do a player appreciation event in November to show our thanks to you. Yeah, thanks Thanos Giving, right? But we haven't made Halloween fun, and this is something we plan to change. For now, we want to apologize for the issues of the event, and that this is coming a day late, but here are some more treats. 20 zombie Juggernaut shards. If they did this with Scarlet Witch, all of a sudden, that 150 cores a day is super reliably going to be getting you the Scarlet Witch unlock, right? I don't understand why Scopely wants to always make things harder for themselves instead of just accepting, give the 2-star Scarlet Witch away. She's going to act like Zombie Iron Man used to do in the fact that she will stop the speed bar, but she's not really going to do too much damage. We've already seen people with a maxed out Scarlet Witch demolishing people in Crucible. Not in War. In Crucible, an Undying team with Apocalypse beating Illuminati Odin. That's insane. That was in Stage 6. There's a reason for that, right? But that's still an insane feat. Okay? Scopely just takes these L's. They want to make Halloween fun. I believe them when they say that, because of the Hunger and Thirst event, I think the Hunger part, objectively fun. They did miss the mark on difficulty for people who had those characters really built up. That they need to fix, for sure. I believe they want things to be fun, but they keep putting the interest of FOMO and money ahead of it, where I think that there is a much healthier balance they could have done. Show how awesome Scarlet Witch is. People that spend the money will spend the money when they see that attack I just talked about. When they see a 7 yellow, 6 red star zombie Scarlet Witch one-shotting Odin, they'll crack it out. They will. Give everybody else the 2-star version that gives them the master key in War for teams that aren't going to immediately push her to 50% life and stop her passive. And then they could use her in Spec Ops for Battle World. Like, this seems like a very normal thing that a normal person would consider, but I'm not business-minded, so maybe I'm just incorrect in that take. What can you say, though? This is the world we live in. I think what I hope is the community gets just as loud now as they did about Zombie Juggernaut. I don't think it's nearly as bad as what Zombie Juggernaut's initial release was, but I think them giving this right here, it just makes sense to me. Do this for Zombie Scarlet Witch. We don't know they don't have that planned, Now that we have free claims, I don't think we had back then. I could be wrong. They could drop 20 Scarlet Witch shards on us on this Friday. This event runs for 10 days, so we're only going to see one Friday free claim, right? But it's possible. So what am I saying? Get loud. Get loud. Do what I'm saying, though, if you want the unlock, if you think you perceive the same value that I do from that. If not, and you want to yell at me in the comments for even trying to justify this, which I'm not trying to justify the event, by the way. I'm just trying to explain it so people can do what they want to do. Do that as well. All the engagement helps. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video for whatever reason. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And without further ado, have yourselves a spooky Halloween. That's right, Halloween on Thursday, everybody. Have yourselves a good one. Stay safe out there. Bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.